part 44, y'all. Today we're gonna make the shoes, and I thought about putting her in high heels, but then I thought, you know what? It's anime. It's already a hat tip to Japan and to the Japanese culture and people for their contributions to the art world. Why not keep that going and give a hat tip to the Japanese for their contributions to the world of footwear? And I thought, yep, that's the right answer. So today we're going to make some geta. Okay? I was going to put her in some pretty banging high heels. Hang on, let's just go into sculpt mode. And then with the grab selected, we can even screencast on. God damn, turn screencast on. There we go. Screencast keys are on. Okay. We can just, first we need to select our object, right? We want to make sure we have our object selected. And then let's go into sculpt mode and just kind of make sure that this is tight against the surface, tight like a tiger. All right, just a scotch, right? Because we're gonna make some footwear. We're gonna put her in some shoes, okay? And all I'm doing is grabbing and bringing in, okay? And you can do this to your fancy. And if you go too much, well, you gotta bring it back out. That's no big deal. Go ahead. This is old hat to all of you, okay? So I was going to put her in some high heels, but then at the last second I wanted to put her in some geta. Okay, so we're going to put her in some geta. Now geta it's a cross between a clog and a flip-flop. Like if a clog and a flip-flop had a baby, it would be a geta. Okay, so if you just do a simple Google search for getas, right, you're gonna see a billion of them. And it's a wood shoe. It's like a wooden plank, and it's elevated off the ground a couple of inches. And these have been in Japan for 1,500 years, maybe 2,000 years. I don't know. They're first seen in Japanese art from the 5th century, so they've been around for a while. And the early uses are pretty practical, right? If a floor is cold or wet, you can keep yourself off the floor. That's great, so your feet can stay dry. And then you actually have to do some pretty active gripping with your toes around this part right here, to keep your foot, in from sliding out or off or around, so your foot muscles stay activated the whole time. And I think it also forces good posture. I mean, I don't know if I could stand on wood all day. I don't know if I have the gumption to do that, but a lot of people do, and more power to them. If you wear flip-flops, if you have heard of flip-flops or have ever worn a flip-flop in your life, you should know that the flip-flops were also invented by Japan. Hat tip, again, to the Japanese for your innovation and contributions to the world at large. All flip-flops were invented in Japan based off of these and another shoe called the Zori, I think it was called. Am I saying that right? Zori? Like Z-O-R-Y shoe? Let's see. So I don't think I'm spelling it right. What if I Japanese Zori? Oh, Zori, Z-O-R-Y, Z-O-R-I. These ones, okay? So the original flip-flops were modeled after these. Okay, invented in Japan and wholly inspired by these sons of guns. This is like version 1.0. These are the alpha version of flip-flops. So we're not going to do and this was probably, if I had to guess, an extension of this. Maybe they were, honestly, I'm pretty sure a simple Google search would let us know, but I think these have their root in agriculture. Planting rice, I think. Like they were kind of a longboard that you could attach to your foot, and then these were there for fashions, for high fashions, to walk around on the town, go to parties, and wine tastings, and Yaz events, and poetry readings. Maybe an art show was presenting some ukiyo-e, and and you wanted to look fly, you rocked your Zoris. But then the next day, if you had to work in the fields, you probably wore your getas. So, but then eventually getas just kind of, had that crossover appeal and made it from a utilitarian piece of footwear to an overall anytime, morning, noon, and night, all weather kind of footwear. And the rest, as the shamans say, is history. So let us come over here and we're going to jump into object mode and let's create a new, this is not going to take very long at all. I know I say that, I just jinx myself. So let's add a new plane right here. We're going to call this plane geta, and then I'm going to put parentheses wood flops. Okay, all right, so let's just, all we're doing is adding a plane. Geta, we got this, and this is in the clothes, and this is in the clothes section. Let's scale this along the X plane like that. Scale it along the Y plane like that. Tab numpad into 3. G this SOMB on the Y. G this SOB on the Z. And then I'm going to zoom in and see how we're doing. And let's G it back on the Y like that. Scale it in on the Y. We're just trying to make it, about the size of the foot, maybe a little bigger. And then let's hit numpad 1 to go into front view, grab it on the X and bring it over. Where is it? There it is. And we want to scale this on the X a little bit like that. Cool. Okay, so we can go into wireframe mode and see where we're at. All right, so there's our block of wood on which our muse is standing. So if we come back into, it might be a little, it was a little wide, to be honest with you. I know I was going to put her in heels, you guys, but then at the last second I was like, you know what, we need to hat tip to the land of the rising sun and pay homage, tribute, chef's kiss, tip of the hat to their styles and their cultures. So Geta is where it's at. We're going to tab into edit mode. I'm going to extrude, enter to lock it in, and then grab it with G along the Z and bring it down, right? Just like that. Okay. Got it. I'm going to tab to go into edit mode with numpad 3. I'm going to bring this up so they're touching on the Z like that. Almost touching. Not quite touching. So bring it like there. She's clearly on her tiptoes, and that's okay. We don't mind at all. She'll probably come down. It'll be about there. So we might be able to scale this in on the Y. Just a scotch. I'm going to move it this way on the Y. Like that. No. I don't like either one of those. I like it a little bit big. They look big, like this is a big thing, and it goes around on the foot. And we're going to shade this smooth in just a second. Let's add a subdiv surf just to see. Okay, so this is absolutely not what we want, but it's also okay because we're going to stretch it out with some loop cuts. So let's Control R. That didn't work. So let's tab into edit mode. Okay, and then with Control R, we're going to add a loop cut right here. And we're going to pull this out like this. Like that. And then we're going to add another loop cut here. And we're going to pull this out like this. Like that. And then we're going to add another loop cut right here. And we're going to pull this out like this. Like that. And then we're going to add another loop cut right here. And we're going to pull this out like this, like that. So don't be, mad at the subdiv surf modifier. You know what? We didn't pull this out enough. So let's pull this out a little bit to try and match this one. And we'll just grab this with a G on the X and bring that out like that. So we started with a sharp, a sharp board with sharp edges. And then we added a subdivision surface modifier, and it looked like it was going to go away. but it didn't. All we had to do was add some loop cuts. Now if we tab into edit mode and shade this smooth, there you go, man. Like, that's very quickly we have something that looks pretty good. I'm going to tab into 3 and then tab back into edit mode and just try and, you know what? I'm going to alt click this loop cut, grab it along the Y, bring it out a little more. Not too much. Probably like that. And I'm gonna, you know what? Maybe bring this all the way and match it up, like almost all the way. And then the same thing here. Alt click selects the whole edge loop, grab it with G along the Y axis, take it back about right there. There we go. I like this. All right, so let's give this a material. Let's tab into edit mode. Give this a material. We'll call this geta. And then let's make it this very, you know, like a wood color. And this can be a generic wood color. We might actually add a wood texture later on. That's a good idea. When we get to texturing, we're not there yet, and that's okay. You know, we'll call this here, and then if we jump over here, we can see how it looks, and there we go. Now, one thing we do have that we need to be on the lookout for is, and this is about to get slippery. So we have the loops, and the loops, these right here. The straps. Okay, these straps have to go in to the sock. So we're gonna have to separate the sock. Bum bum bum, but that's fine. We will separate that. I said it was gonna be quick, and there you go. Now we gotta dive into it and separate the sock, and now it's like we're cutting open our model. Okay, so let's take care of these straps real quick. You know what? Let's do that before we do anything else. Okay, so I'm going to let everybody save your work very quickly, and then let's select this sock. We're just going to have to delete this face right here, and then build out 2 separate socks. Okay, so let's delete this face and delete this face. And now we're just going to shape these 2 right here, okay? So now we can go like this. Select this one. 1, 2. Face that. Here, let's grab and tweak this a little bit right here. Let's grab this face and move it a little bit here. Okay, you see what we're doing? You see everybody see what we're doing? Good, outstanding. And then let's grab some verts over here, bring these sons of guns in to match this toe. Okay. And we'll have to bring this out. Oh, we'll bring this out along the y-axis like that. And then this as well. There's got to be one down here. Same thing, grab this along the y to bring that out. Great, okay. Everybody's doing great. So far, so good. Grab it along the x-axis, bring that out. And then let's go, what do we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Face. Can we face these? Oh, no, mea culpa. 1, 2, 3, 4. Face. 1, 2, 3, 4. Face. Okay, so we have capped off one toe, the big toe. And then we're going to come here and do the exact same thing. But let's bring these down a little bit. Nope, selected too many. Don't want these at all. Deselect those. And now just grab these down like that. You know what? We can actually do this. 1, 2, 3. Bring this down even more. I'm just going to grab it along the Z. Like that. It's popping out a little bit right here. That's fine. We'll bring that up. No big deal. Okay, and then same thing. Let's bring this. We can bring like that. This can probably like that. Bring that back. Okay. Okay, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. Are you guys seeing it? Man, I hope you're seeing it. Man, I hope you're seeing it like I'm seeing it, because this looks good. You guys are doing good so far. Oh, missed the bottom. Okay, all right, no problem. It happens to the best of us. We will, you know what? When we're done with this, we will flush out the bottom of this piece, but not right now. Okay. There's that. There's that. Get this one like that. This one up. And all of these can come in like that. Maybe even come in more. Can they come in more? Those can, sure. What about this one? Nice, look at that. Okay, we might be able to clip this one right now. All right, so how are we trying to do? We're trying to go 1, 2. Oh, let's get these out a little bit. These need to be here. Let's grab these like this, because these two are connecting with 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we go face. See, we've connected those right there. And now we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I wasn't holding shift. 1, 2, 3, 4. Face. 1, 2, 3, 4. Face. 1, 2, 3, 4. Face. Now, when we bring the base mesh back, toes only come out a tiny little bit. So let's grab this. Grab this. All I'm doing is just pulling it out. Grab that. Grab that. I'm gonna grab this edge. Then I'm gonna grab this edge. Bring that up like that. Okay, very, very nice. First, I'm gonna hide this geta and see how the bottom looks. Even the bottom looks nice. Very nice, very sharp, very sharp. Okay. Now, if we go here, can we grab these and move? Yes, we can. We'll grab and move like this. That's great, because that gives us space. That's exactly what we're looking for. Let's grab this edge right here, bring that down a little bit. And then these guys, let's grab some verts. These guys need to be connected. Okay, how's it looking? Let's hide the figure so we can see what our geometry looks like. Do we really only have a 4 spot? 1, is this seriously the last? Oh wow, great. 2, 3, 4, face. Something definitely looks and feels wrong here. Base mesh comes back underneath the foot, needs a little touch up, no problem. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go 1 and then bring this base mesh back. Let's drop this along the Z. There we go. I'm liking it. Like that. Let's grab this like that, and then there's something right here. Let's grab this along the Z as well, like that. Oh, something in here. This little guy right there. Let's grab him. There we go. Okay, outstanding. So we have, oh, when we moved our sock a little bit, we pulled it out. There we go. All right, so what we've done is we've created one of those toe separating socks, and we did that. Now we'll bring the geta back like that because we have to add the straps. We have to add the geta straps, okay? Everybody save your work. Let's tab in object mode and then go Shift A, and let's add a Bezier curve, okay? Nice little Bezier curve. Doesn't need to be that big. We can scale this right down like this. Bring this in, scale this like this. Bring this in like that. I'm going to numpad 3. Drop this down. Grab this, grab on the Y and bring this over. Rotate 90 on Z. Okay, cool. Let's try and flip this. Rotate 90 on X. There we go. I'm okay with that. All right, so if we just come here and we grab this on the X, we can move this in like this. And we'll go into numpad 3. Let's scale it along the Y-axis. Oh, let's scale YY local. You gotta hit Y twice. If you just hit Y once, it's gonna do something weird. Okay, and now we can literally just take this and grab it right here, and now we can form it. So if we go into edit mode, we see we have our anchor points. So one anchor point we can rotate. Oh, make hope I had both of them selected. One anchor point. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this anchor point, we're gonna grab it, and we're gonna put it in the center where our anchor point needs to be, okay? Then we're going to scale this and rotate it, but that's not even enough to see. Okay, so we're going to have to shift click and then subdivide, which is fine. And let's add a couple of them just because we can. Okay, so this one is the one I'm interested in. First I'll bring, this is great right here, okay? This one is exactly where it should be. This one should be over here, just a scotch. Okay, and then this one is the one that comes here and then comes, oh, so something's up with the rotation. Let me just escape out of that, tab in object mode. Control A to lock all transforms in. And now when I tab back into edit mode, when I lift this along the Z axis, it should work. Yeah, okay. So if you're ever trying to scale something along the Z, you might have a transform on that was not meant for you, okay? And that's fine, it happens. So you need to Control A and then just lock everything in place. Okay, I'm gonna bring this out along the Y, and then maybe scale it, bring it like that, and then this one can come up a little bit and over like that. Let me scale it like that. Bring this up. Let me scale it down a little bit. Doesn't need to be that. Right, all I'm doing is kind of modeling the contour. I wonder if I even need, let me try dissolving that vertex and see if this can just be like that. Okay. Now that we have a curve that comes around it, let's come to the object data properties, come down to bevel, and then just bump up the bevel. See, look at that. Right? And that just looks like this. You know, we're creating our strap. Okay? So nice little strap. This one can rotate around a little bit and go in. Can go into our shoe. Maybe even plug around a little bit like that. And then we'll grab it along the x-axis, move it like that. And then maybe even make it a little thicker. Okay? Something like that. It's going into the foot. Well, or you could say it's coming around the foot. All right, let me go into Object, Shift D to duplicate this guy, tap back into Edit mode, and now with this one, I want to grab it along the x-axis to move it this way. And I'm going to grab this anchor point and move this one to create this side, right? Just same thing we did. Rotate it. There we go. Scale this up. Rotate it. Over. Oh, this needs to move a bit. Move this back like that. And then this can come up like this. Rotate like that. Scale this. Scale that in. Much. And just like its counterpart, sink into the shoe. Like that. Maybe bring it back along the Y. Scale like that. Maybe bring this down like that. Bring that down right there. And then this one, bring this out like that. And then rotate it even more and then bring it down. Kind of want it to look like it's meshing into this, like it's becoming the same thing. Oh, this doesn't even go down into the world. So let me tab into Object, and then tab into Edit. And then with this guy, bring this down into the world. Okay, so these look like they blend. And then now this one just needs to go around the toe a little bit more. So again, tap into Object mode, select the object, tap into Edit mode, and maybe rotate like that to get out of it a little bit. But also it might have to do with this one, maybe come forward on the Y. You're gonna have to figure a lot of this out, you guys, and you can do it. You're at the stage where you can do this now. Grab that way, like that. And then rotate that like that. Bring that in like that. All right, There you go. I think there's one more thing we need to do. Well, a couple things actually. First, we want to let's make these here. Let us tab in object mode. 1, 2, 3, and then we want to parent with Control P and make the geta the parent for anything. So if we move this now, the Bezier curves come with it. So whereas before it was 3 separate objects, now we have parented the straps to the shoe. I think there's a little clog on the bottom of it. So let's pop into front view, and then I'm just going to add a cube super quick, and then let's scale this down, bring it in, scale it down more, bring it in, grab it here. We can scale it along. We can scale it along the X till it's about here. X to about here, like that. And then we can go in the back. Let's drop it along. Where'd that go? Okay, let's move this along the Y-axis. In side view, how long does this need to be? I think it's about that. Maybe a little taller. Let's scale it along the Z. Like that. 1. And then Shift D to duplicate. Grab it along the Y. 2. And this now looks like a geta. Okay, and these actually are sharp, weirdly enough. So how about we shift click both of these, add a material. What material? A pre-made material, and we'll call it geta. Okay, and then if we 1, 2, 3 click, and then we go same thing, Control P, set parent object. Now it's all one big shoe. So if we grab this, the whole thing, the straps, the board, the foot plank, and the wooden things on the bottom of it, and we're just going to escape out of that. And that is how you make a geta. Okay, so she has footwear. What do we need to do? We need to select this object, come into our modifiers properties, add a mirror modifier. And what object do we want to mirror? We want to mirror, how about the base, let's do the base mesh. Yep. So let's go Bezier curve, shift click Bezier curve, cube, cube, and let's add mirror modifiers here. Only does it one at a time. Okay, so I guess you gotta do this one at a time. Just, and then what object do we want to mirror? No, we don't want to do that. We want to mirror figure A, and then each one of these should have had a mirror modifier on it, and the mirror object is the figure base mesh. There we go. Okay, so now we have shoes. Now we have geta on our model. Okay, are those up enough is the question. Let's come into, so these are Zori. Geta, and actually, I feel like it's in the back. It's like almost one full third and then towards the end. Okay, so this needs to be, hit numpad 3, and then let's shift click these, grab along the Y about there. And then maybe there. I feel like she can topple over. That's crazy. Okay. Okay, outstanding. All right, we have geta. And so let's go here. Take our modifiers off, and here you go. There we go. She's got some geta. Looking sharp. And in the next one, we'll do the vest. Okay? All right, so get up, get a bend, get a stretch, and we'll see you in a bit.